All right, it's 10 o'clock. We should get started. Just, staying on schedule and everything. And I know that you have so many slides that you want to get through, Paul.
I will be quick.
Paul has a lot of slides, but he promises to get through them quick. So let's all, keep him on task here, okay? Hey, so I'm going to just welcome everybody to Long's coffee break. We'll have people popping on as the time gets going here, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm Erica Nishioka, your host for today, and we are being joined with Axis Communications and their innovations. Paul Schlicker with Axis is here to tell us all about the new and groovy stuff that they've got going on, right, Paul? And Paul has made a wonderful, very kind offer of providing gift certificates for people who have joined us today. So please, not only email it, or excuse me, not only questions, but please in the chat feature, if you could put your email address so that we can make sure that you get the gift certificate that Paul is offering today. We'll get that sent out to you. So right there.
Yes,
in the
I'll
chat.
be sending everybody little Starbucks cards by email, so it won't be spam.
Excellent. Thanks, Paul. And yeah, if you could take it away, that'd be great.
Wonderful. So as introductions, my name is Paul Schlicker, Regional Sales Manager in the Pacific Northwest for Axis Communications. For those that don't know, Axis Communications is a globally recognized and trusted brand in the world. With over almost 4,000 employees and working in 50 different countries. We're pretty much everywhere. But for us, we rely heavily on our partner network. So partners like Long are our strongest assets. And we're actually very proud of their loyalty and the expertise that they show, because it really does help to kind of continue to promote our solution. As a pioneer of networking technology solutions, we are definitely committed to innovation. This is just a very small sampling of a lot of the innovations that we've made over throughout the years, but we are continuously developing cutting edge technologies and solutions to anticipate and potentially meet our customers' needs and everything. So what I'm going to be showing today is just some of the new things that we've come out with this year, over the last, actually probably year and a half. And some of these are definitely very applicable. Some of them may not be applying to you, but they are definitely some really cool stuff. So one of the first things that we're going to be talking about is going to be the Q6100. So this is kind of a step above some of our old Q6000s. Some improvements here. One, these are now 5 megapixel per sensor cameras for a total of 20 megapixel. It does sit the Q61 series PTZ with PTZ auto tracking and one-click PTZ control, as well as autopilot features, which allow you to use analytics to control the PTZ. So events happen, the PTZ automatically points. And then we've also added microphones for a directional audio detection. So essentially loud sounds will actually point the PTZ where the sound originated from. So this thing will triangulate and point. Great for city surveillance. In fact, if you're ever in Bellevue, stop at any intersection, look up, you'll find one of these or something, or you'll see one of these cameras or its predecessor looking down at you.
Paul, are you going to talk about the tracking feature?
Which is the auto tracking. So with the auto tracking feature piece with the Q61, I'll talk about it with this PTZ here, because this is one of the PTZs that actually incorporates the auto tracking. So talking about Q61 PTZs, this is one of our newest of the Q61 PTZs, which is the Q6135. It replaces the Q6125. We've extended the range to 32 times optical zoom. We've increased the IR range to 820 feet. We've added better low light technologies. And then we've incorporated the auto tracking. With the auto tracking piece, if you click on an object, whether it's a vehicle or a person, the PTZ will track that person no matter wherever they go, as long as the PTZ can actually see them. With auto tracking, and a lot of because of the analytics and the technology that's in this camera, if you click on a person, other objects interfere or entering that field of view will not interfere with your tracking. So it's really, really great for tracking people if there has been suspicious activity moving forward. On that
IR range is really crazy long.
Yes, yeah, 820 feet on the IR range on the PTZ. So some of our newer P32 series. So a couple things we've been doing. We've been updating our P32 series. The newest updates on those are the 47 and the 48. And these are 5 megapixel and 4K domes. Some of the new advantages with this, also better low light technologies. We've also added motion adaptive exposure. Essentially what that means is that on the P3247, a vehicle in motion will not blur the license plate. So as a vehicle is approaching this camera, your license plate will remain solid. You'll be able to get the good license plate as long as the distance and everything is good. The other thing that we've added with the new cameras is machine learning. So Axis has always been huge on edge analytics. We truly believe that is the future of cameras, is being able to do all the computational on the camera itself, reducing your costs at the head end. So these cameras do come with one analytic for free, which is the object analytics. This is a analytic that will trigger off people and vehicles, not motion, actual people and vehicles. So it's actually specifically looking for people and specifically looking for vehicles. And this is based upon the machine learning technology that is built into it. The other feature with the new cameras is much better cybersecurity features. And as Axis, being one of our commitments is cybersecurity, we are constantly working on developing newer and newer technologies to stay ahead of the industry, but also stay ahead of the hackers to ensure that your edge devices remain secure. And talking about analytics, we did release a second heavy analytic camera. So as I mentioned before, analytics, we believe that is the next phase in evolution when it comes to cameras, is developing edge-based analytics. And so we are in the process of developing more heavier duty edge-based cameras that can actually handle more heavier duty analytics. This is the second in the line. We actually have several more coming down the pipeline this year. What we're doing is we're adding deep learning technologies into our cameras. And so with deep learning on top of the other technologies that are in these cameras, we're talking about granular object classification, being able to differentiate between bicycles, motorcycles, weapons, cell phones, that kind of stuff. Of course, at this time, analytics of that level are not available at this time, but Axis developed the technology so that people could develop the analytics. But again, it's all edge-based. So we want to be able to put the analytic on the camera so that all the box has to do at the head end is record or react to whatever the camera tells it to do. So again, edge-based processing on that piece.
Yeah, so that takes a lot of the stress off of the NVR then, that way.
Yes, so yeah, it takes the stress off the DV or your recording solution. It takes the stress off your server. You're not having to spend thousands of dollars for a server. Now all you have to do is pay for a little bit of a license fee for the analytic, and then you're up and running. So one of our coolest new cameras that came out within the last year was the P3715. In fact, this camera is so popular that every single demo camera that we actually had available in Washington State is out. In fact, I believe Long has one of them in their office.
Yes, we do.
Yes. So the P3715 is a 2-sensor camera. We built this indoor-outdoor rated. It does come including 360 degrees IR. Each lens is pan-tilt rotatable. Each lens has remote zoom, remote focus. You can wall mount it, ceiling mount it, pendant mount it, and horizontally or vertically mount it. So, I mean, there is definitely a lot of mounting options with this. It does build, to kind of withstand everything. So if you got hallways that you need to look 2 different directions, L-shaped hallways, whatever it may be, this is definitely a camera that kind of fit those applications. And it is 2x2, so 2 megapixel per sensor on these cameras, on this particular camera.
Is the IR illumination on that one more like 300 feet or something like that?
The 360 IR actually is between 50 and 60 feet.
50 and 60.
For 2 megapixels, yes, it's because of the 2 megapixel. 2 megapixel camera, I mean, 50 to 60 feet is about the good visual range of a 2 megapixel camera before you start getting into what we call the detection range. And so that's why the IR range goes about 50, 60 feet, because then you're still getting that good forensic detail at that distance.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks.
Our newest in our Intercom line. So a couple of new things a lot of people may not know or may not recall, but Axis owns 2N. So 2N is a full part of Axis. And I'm going to mention a couple of things about 2N that I did not include in the slide, but I did want to mention this new Intercom. So a lot of times what we're finding is a lot of people have a lot of legacy Intercom solutions, and a lot of those legacy units sit on a double gang box. And so what we've done is we've developed a double gang intercom. And so this is a double gang intercom. It has better quality video and better quality audio than some of our older predecessor units in our intercom line. It is, again, it's a PoE device. It does have full SIP, so you can actually tie it into an existing Avaya or Cisco phone line. It is IK10, so it is definitely an outdoor rated. We do have a surface mount box coming out here in the next month that will allow you to surface mount it, but this was designed to be flush mounted in the wall. Now, going back to the whole 2N side, so we've actually kind of merged the 2N intercoms and Access intercoms into one marketing portfolio. And in fact, Gary Gray, for those that may know him or may not, who is our 2N rep for the West, actually does get paid now on all intercoms sold by Access, whether it's our 2N intercoms or the Access intercoms. The difference between the two is that the Access intercoms are one button, one call. Meaning if I press the button, it's going to be an all call. It's going to call everything that's connected to it. Whereas with 2N, I can direct that call to very, very specific phones, very, very specific extensions. I can push it out to an app. So you can do rollover. I mean, so there's a lot of options with the 2N solution. The other thing, this is a new improvement that we've done as of April 1st, the gold license, which we often required to integrate the 2N solution with other solutions. Like if you want to integrate it with Cisco or Brevo or Genetec or any of those products, Milestone, you actually needed a license in order for it to be able to integrate their solution into somebody else's solution. So as of April 1st, the gold license is now free. We are no longer charging for the gold license. As soon as you connect the 2N device to a source that has an outside connection, it will download that license and set it up. If you are setting it as a standalone device, you will need to download the gold license and then install it yourself. But that license is now 100% free. We are no longer going to be charging for that license. And another thing also you can expect coming down the road is that the My2N, they are currently working at kind of streamlining the pricing on the My2N app as well. So definitely a lot of changes coming down the pipeline, some new 2N products coming down the pipeline. So a lot of stuff with the joint technologies with Access and 2N. So you're going to start seeing some 2N intercoms that kind of incorporate both of our technologies in them. So.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
There's a question in the chat. Okay, thank you. Wow. Yeah. Right on time. You're amazing. Round of applause. There's a question in the chat windows asking about the gold license that you were just talking about.
Yes.
Do you still need to order it, or is it you don't need to put it on a PO?
No, you don't have to order anymore. So when you guys are trying to price out your products, don't even list the gold license anymore. It's just a free download now.
Oh, okay. We just need to remember to download it.
Yeah, well, like I said, if you connect the 2N intercom to an outside connection, meaning it has internet connection, it will automatically download it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nice. If you don't, then if you are trying to do it as a standalone unit without outside connection, you will have to download it from the website and then just install it yourself.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no more ordering, no more putting it on project registrations, and yeah, 100%.
That makes it easy.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, very cool. Any other questions from the peanut gallery? Anyone else? Going once, going twice? We do appreciate you all being here today.
That was a quick 15-minute whoop.
It was. I was going to say it's 10:14 right now, so you did an amazing job. Yeah. We are.
One thing I will mention real quick, I always forget on that Q6100, it is one cable drop. So you're getting there's a lot of people forget about that. It's one cable drop. So you have essentially five cameras, but only one run.
So you're saving yourself on labor. Right, that spaceship camera that you first showed us.
Yeah, the spaceship camera. Yeah, and a lot of our cities love it. So city of Bellevue, city of Redmond, city of Kirkland, you're going to start seeing these popping up on intersections a lot because these guys are really loving what Bellevue was doing. Bellevue loves that camera a lot. In fact, they're using it for analytics. So they've got streams going back to analytics companies that are tracking traffic movement, traffic flow. They're tracking their lighting control and everything because they use smart lights in Bellevue, which I learned quite a bit working with City of Bellevue, but they are really technology focused as a city, and they really truly believe in analytics. I mean, they're working with analytics to see how long UPS trucks sit on a curb or how long FedEx trucks sit on a curb. So they're definitely doing a lot in that analytics realm, and that's kind of the direction that they're starting to head. So,
Got it. All right, just last call. If you'd like to receive a gift certificate for coffee, please put it in the chat window and I'll write that down. Next week, next Thursday, same time, 10 o'clock, our building automation group is hosting, and the topic is, oh,
are
where'd
you
it go?
stuck, or is there a pathway out? Sorry.
I was gonna say, I was gonna read it, and then you changed on me. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Paul. Hosted by Craig Engelbrecht, our general manager. He's doing that. So please join us next week. Appreciate your time today, and have a good one. Thanks, Paul, again. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll stay on a couple minutes just in case there's a chat. But thanks, folks. I'll talk to you later.